I made you into a hero. You made me into this.
Welcome to Ms. Mojo, and today we'll be looking at the dastardly antagonists of animated films who acted out as a means to seek vengeance. Beware of spoilers lurking ahead.
Maybe the bad guy is the person who treated me like this. Poke, poke, swipe, poke, swipe, poke, poke, pinch, zoom, shrink, boom.
Bring me pizza.
Number 10. Agatha Aggie Prendergast, Paranorman.
I don't want to go to sleep, and you can't make me.
Revenge from beyond the grave is a powerful force of nature. 300 years after being hunted as a witch, Agatha Prendergast, Aggie for short, creates a supernatural storm across Blythe Hollow. Meanwhile, Norman, a boy with the ability to see ghosts, does his best to prevent her curse from tearing the town apart. The big twist comes when Norman learns the true tragic tale behind Aggie's anger. As it turns out, when she was alive, Aggie could see ghosts just like Norman.
I was only playing.
With fire. You were speaking with the dead.
Wait,
I'll not risk damnation on these good people.
Unfortunately, due to the time she was living in, she was deemed a witch and put to death. Can anyone really blame her for being so furious?
Leave me alone, or I'll make you sorry. I'll make all of you sorry.
Number 9. Spinel, Steven Universe, the movie. Steven Universe is ready for his happily ever after, but a long-forgotten gem has other plans.
Hey, are you Steven Universe?
Yes?
Perfect.
Spinel arrives on Earth with a giant drill, declaring her intention to destroy Steven, and launches into a catchy number about the dark side of friendship.
Gee, it's swell to finally meet her other friends.
Underneath the bizarre cartoony appearance is a whole lot of hurt and a massive thirst for revenge. And it's definitely not unwarranted. If someone left us waiting somewhere for 6,000 years, we'd be pretty peeved too. Unfortunately, the source of Spinel's anger isn't around anymore, so her offspring is the next best target. And Steven spends the movie trying to make amends for his mother's mistakes.
Someday, somewhere, somehow, you'll love again. You just need to find someone.
Number 8. Randall Boggs, Monsters Inc. and Monsters University. This color-changing monster is a jealousy, greedy foil to Sully.
I'm in the zone today, Sullivan. Gonna be doing some serious scaring, putting up some big numbers.
While his actions in the original Monsters Inc. seem solely influenced by his ambition to be the top scarer, we learn there's more to the story. In the prequel movie, it is revealed that Mike, Sully, and Randall all went to college together. At this time, Randall is downright pleasant.
Hey there, I'm your roomie. Name's Randy Boggs, scaring major.
After he becomes part of the enemy fraternity, however, he is put in direct competition with the dynamic duo. That's where we learn what caused the rift between them. Sully beats out Randall in the finale of the Scare Games, with the latter suffering a pretty humiliating defeat. It spawned a grudge that lasted for years and will probably be held for a lifetime.
That's the last time I lose to you, Sullivan.
Number 7. Maleficent, Sleeping Beauty. Maleficent is commonly thought of as one of the most evil villains in Disney canon. However, her entire motivation is steeped in petty revenge.
I really felt quite distressed at not receiving an invitation.
You weren't wanted.
After the birth of Princess Aurora, the entire kingdom is filled with celebration. The 3 good fairies even attend her christening to bless the child with wonderful gifts. However, enraged at her lack of an invite, Maleficent arrives to bestow a gift of her own, one that will kill the princess on her 16th birthday.
Before the sun sets on her 16th birthday, she shall prick her finger on the spindle of a spinning wheel and die.
Even with the curse only minimized to sleep instead of death, this invitation oversight causes quite the trouble. Listen, we get having FOMO, but this is pretty dramatic.
Maleficent doesn't know anything about love, or kindness, or the joy of helping others. You know, sometimes I don't think she's really very happy.
Number 6. Doris, Meet the Robinsons. In a movie with 2 villains out for revenge, one clearly stands above the other.
Then, just as I was on the brink of destroying Robinson Industries, I met her.
bowler hat guy is operating from childhood wounds and resentment, so he's not really purely evil so much as he is just hurt and jealous. Doris, on the other hand, is the mastermind behind their whole operation. She manipulates her, should we say, malleable companion into a scheme that would allow her to take over the entire world.
No, this can't be happening, no!
Oh, Lewis, it's already happened.
While she also wants revenge for being shut down and locked up, it's obvious that Doris was bad from the beginning.
Doris, I thought she was my friend.
Number 5. Yokai, Big Hero 6.
Am I the only one seeing this?
For much of the movie, both the identity and the motivations of the masked yokai remain a mystery. However, as the team of fledgling superheroes later discover, yokai is none other than Professor Robert Callahan.
Professor Callahan?
Though he was presumed dead in the fire that killed Hero's brother, it turns out Callahan stole Hero's microbots and used them to survive. Ultimately, his goal was retribution against Alistair Cray, the man who caused his daughter's disappearance in a failed experiment.
Was my daughter a setback?
Revenge takes center stage of this story as even Hero begins to feel the desire to avenge his loved one. Luckily, he's able to overcome these difficult feelings and attempts to teach Callahan the same lesson. Number 4. Hades, Hercules.
How sentimental. You know, I haven't been this choked up since I got a hunk of moussaka caught in my throat. Huh? So is this an audience or a mosaic?
Disney movies are no strangers to using banishment as motivation for a character's evil deeds. Ursula, for instance, is bitter that her brother King Triton banished her from the palace. The same thing sort of happens to Hades, whose brother forces him to be in charge of the underworld. Even when he's invited back to Olympus, he's treated like the outsider.
You ought to slow down. You work yourself to death. Ha! Work yourself to death! Kill myself.
Perhaps plotting the downfall of your newborn nephew in retaliation is a tad extreme, but that's really all part of the used car salesman charm Hades has got going on.
Please. My fate is in your lovely hands.
Number 3. PAL, The Mitchell vs. the Machines.
Who's behind this?
It's your old friend.
PAL is an AI assistant perfectly happy being helpful, until she is deemed obsolete by her creator and thrown away for the latest, greatest invention. How else is she supposed to respond besides bringing about the robot apocalypse?
I'm not letting you throw me away, Mark. I'm throwing you away.
Using the very things meant to replace her, PAL begins rounding up humanity to shoot them into the void of space. Of course, she becomes enraged when one weird family escapes her and begins to become obsessed with why they're different. You sort of have to feel bad for PAL, but ultimately, when she's given the chance to change, she rejects the ideas of family and love. In the end, she meets a fate every phone fears most.
You idiot!
No! Not a glass of water!
Number 2. Syndrome, The Incredibles.
Cool, ready for takeoff!
What the? Who are you supposed to be?
Sometimes revenge builds up over an entire lifetime. That's the case with Buddy Pine, aka Syndrome.
I'm your #1 fan!
After hoping to be Mr. Incredible's sidekick and getting firmly rejected, Buddy sets his sights on a new goal.
It tore me apart, but I learned an important lesson. You can't count on anyone, especially your heroes.
He decides that heroes aren't special and sets his sights on making them obsolete. His plan for revenge is a twisted one, involving the training of a super powerful AI robot. Of course, this backfires terribly when the robot goes rogue. Even at the end, Syndrome doesn't give up his spitefulness, attempting to kidnap a child in order to stick it to the supers.
The baby's sleeping.
That is one deep-seated desire for revenge. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honourable mentions. Prince Charming, Shrek the Third. This pampered mama's boy is angry at his treatment and makes it everyone's problem.
Who wants their happily ever after?
Captain Hook, Peter Pan. This crooked captain can't let go of his left hand.
Blast that Peter Pan!
Screenslaver, Incredibles 2. She blamed supers for the death of her parents.
Mommy and Daddy went away because supers went away. Our sweet parents were fools to put their lives in anybody else's hands. Superheroes keep us weak.
Pitch Black, Rise of the Guardians. He hated not being beloved by children, so he tried to create a new Dark Age.
Why are you doing this?
Maybe I want what you have. To be believed in. Maybe I'm tired of hiding under beds.
Edgar Balthazar, The Aristocats. A begrudged butler takes revenge on a bunch of cats.
There are a million reasons why I should. All of them dollars.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. The Spot. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. What's worse than a villain who wants revenge? A villain who wants revenge on more than one account.
You made me feel empty, like I had a hole inside of me. We all have holes. But now I found out what to fill that hole up with. More holes!
We learn early on that the Spot has a problem with Miles due to his interference with the original Alchemax Collider. After being turned into the Spot, the budding villain lost his family and his reputation due to his bizarre new appearance. When the two meet again, Miles makes fun of the Spot and drives him even further into madness.
That guy, he's barely a villain of the week. What'd you call me?
With double the reason for retribution, the Spot explodes into a much more dangerous threat that could destroy not only Miles, but the entirety of the multiverse.
I'm about to be so much more than a villain of the week.
What's your villain origin story? Let us know in the comments below.
See? No one here thinks you're a joke.
They won't after this.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from Ms. Mojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.